anybody remember the Society Hill Hotel from back in the day?
The what?
Society Hill Hotel? It's finally renovated and reopened. Yeah, they had a big fire. But it had gone way downhill. But it's so cool. It's like so similar to what it used to be. The same front doors and the bars. But they added a big pizza oven. So
Where did you eat there?
We stopped for a drink on the way home last week. So we're going there to brunch today.
Let me know how it is.
I'll let you know.
Where is it?
It's like Third Chestnut or Third and Walnut.
It's Third and Chestnut.
Chestnut. Okay.
What's near it?
The visitors museum.
Yeah. Yeah. There used to be like a sushi place there.
It's not far from Budokan.
Yeah, it's on that same
I
block.
see why.
Yeah.
It's on the other corner. Well, it's 2 blocks back.
Back in the day when I was moving here, and they sent me here to try and find an apartment with no help. So I'm just walking around, old cities and like, Society Hill, blah blah blah. I didn't know what to do, so it's like 5 o'clock. So I went in Society Hill Hotel for a drink. Bartender was so nice. He said, "Oh, I've got a realtor." By the next morning, I had my apartment in Queen Village.
Oh,
So yeah, good memory.
And when you walked into New Wave and met your husband.
I did.
is that right?
I love that story.
I met him an hour after I moved to Philly. I drove up from Texas.
Like sequence of stories.
No, I drove up from Texas, and I had an apartment, but no furniture and no air conditioning and no Pico and no anything. So the New Wave Cafe was across the street.
Just the one side of the New Wave, right?
Yeah, it was only the one side. I went in, and he was the only customer in the bar.
And wasn't he in town visiting or something? He needed a shower dude? I can't remember right.
Oh, yeah. Well, then now we're getting too much information. He was renovating a building, and so it's all dirty and all this other stuff. And anyway, I was complaining about not having hot water. I drove up from Texas. I can't take a shower, and he's like, "You can come over to my house and shower." And I'm like, "No." And then I could see his face. He knew he needed to feel it. Like, I'm new in town, but.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
What year, Trina?
1988.
Wow.
Yeah. It's my first job out of.
Married how many years? That's the answer to your question.
Got married in '93, so however many that is.
Has Queen Village changed much in that time?
Hugely,
Yeah.
hugely. There were the big projects, the tall projects down, and yeah,
Oh, before Central Park, or not Central
yeah,
Park.
yeah. We have a place down on 4th Street between Catherine and Queen, and he used to go down and with the hose and wet the steps so that drug dealers wouldn't sit there.
Yeah.
There's nobody there to check. There's nobody there to check the sound.
Should work.
What are you contemplating?
I'm waiting for this to see if it kicks on or not.
like my knee's gonna rip apart. Terrible. Anything y'all want to do?
You can get a knee replacement.
I hope not. I hope not. Okay.
I forget the name of.
Hamstrings?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
QL.
Mm-hmm.
Or really John Shashowski.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Okay. Your QLs are muscles that sit right here in your low back. They're going to be responsible for this type of action, but they're compensators when the glutes don't work. So when your glutes don't work and you're going to drive your hips forward, what the QL will do was it will hike it up. So it'll kind of do this instead of this, right, and driving forward. So these get icky, and then they kind of sit into this area right here, right, and that whole, like, my whole low back kind of feels a little shitty. So we'll kind of work on that, open that up a little bit. We'll get that set. I don't do a lot of hamstring openers with y'all. We will do some today, but for most of us, if your forward fold looks like this, your hamstrings are tight. If your forward fold looks like this, your hamstrings are not tight, right? So how is it gonna benefit us from lengthening these out anymore? It's not, right? You need the tension in them, because without the tension in your hamstrings, they're not gonna pull your sit bones down, and then so you could draw your belly in. And you could pull your belly in all day long. It's not gonna beat your hip flexors and your quads. It's never gonna win, right? So you gotta get this to turn on so that it does this, boop. Then when this draws in, it gets real efficient. Right? So, but we'll do some today. You just have to remember to keep those muscles engaged when we stretch them. So you want to fire. My cue is always pull your heels to your butt and your butt to your heels. And as I do that, it's going to make my hamstrings engage, right? And that way I got a connection. So then when I stretch them, I'm going to stretch the fibers. I'm going to get a good stretch out of them instead of just the attachments. That goes for every muscle. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to those. And what was the other one? Twists. Twists will be, we always want to make space, and then we're going to move into it. So if I'm like this and I try to twist, what's going to happen? I'm just going to close up. There's going to be nowhere for me to rotate. But if I make all this space and then I twist, right, there's a lot of space to move into. So most of the time it's going to be your belly, and I always talk about your shutters. Your shutters are the top of your abdominal wall. The shutters want to blow open, so you're going to close the shutters. And that's when you hit the top of the ab. That goes to your thoracic spine, your back, and it lifts you up this way. And that way we can twist into it. All right, we'll talk about that a little bit more too when we get there. We ready? All right, take a nice seat. Close the eyes. Sit up nice and tall. Take a couple breaths. Think about this moment right now. This is one of my favorite moments in just about everything, right before it starts. There's that excitement. There's a little bit of that unknown. It's still fresh. It's all right in front. Now, as we start to move, right, and get into these postures and link things together and challenge ourselves, we want to do that from a good place. So there's going to be this little outline that we're going to follow, whether it's on the mat or in the yoga of life. You're always going to take a breath. And then you're going to set a foundation, you're going to engage, and then you're going to express. What happens when we express before we take a breath, set a foundation, and engage? Usually things go the wrong way, right? So we want to set ourselves up for success. It's the same thing when you would meet someone, right? You wouldn't just walk up and start telling your life story. The first thing you do is you take a breath. And then you set a foundation. Hi, my name's Larry. Right? It's the same thing. Then you engage. Oh, how are you today? right? And then you express, oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing blah, blah, blah. I'm about to go teach this yoga class, whatever it is, right? It's the same outline through life. Keep it close to you. Follow that through every single pose. Take your breath, set your foundation, engage and express. Do that in the pose, right, to take it to a new place. Start with your breath here, listening to yourself breathe, to slowing down the beginning of the inhale and pushing more on the end of the exhale, to counting out the breath. It'll be 2 or 3 seconds for your inhale. Make the exhale 2 or 3 seconds. Bring it to balance. Maybe find Ujjayi breath, where the air begins to rebound off the back of the throat. When I said before, keep it close, that's Ujjayi. You keep the air close, the breath close to you. If you're not sure what Ujjayi breath is, I'll do it a little loud so you can kind of hear it, but it's like you're fogging a mirror or you're bouncing the air off the back of the throat. So on the inhale, I'd be like, and the exhale, I'd be. That's that sound that you hear in practice, as some of us tap into that Ujjayi breath. Let the breath turn to movement. Let the arms lift. Bring the fingertips and the knuckle pads to root. Let the heels of the hands lightly touch. And bring that space now to that, bring the breath now to that space between your palms. And one time together to initiate our practice. Together the sound of Om. All together, deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our heart, our head to each other's hearts. Inhale, lift the head, open the eyes. Release the hands. Nice Om. Dude, Saturdays, you always kick a nice Om. Friday, they're stingy with the Om. But I love it either way, right? You do what feels good to you. All right, let's go. Let's stand. Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you? I didn't see it coming. It just felt right. We got a little space, too, so we can move a little bit. So set your feet up, hips width apart. We're going to come to mountain pose, Tadasana. So we're hips width apart. Our feet are like train tracks. What's the misalignment? Right? So we just kind of sweep those heels out or bring those big toe mounds in. Lean back a little bit so your toes can move. The ball of your foot should stay rooted, but you can move your toes right now. Your heels getting nice and heavy. Sweep the inner heel out. Hug the shins in, starting to pull the energy up the legs. Pull your kneecaps to your waist. Heels to my butt would be like I'm doing this without movement, right? So I'm hugging up. Now I'm super fired. Pull pelvic floor up. Pull your belly in. Pull your shutters closed. Yep. Breathe through the side bodies. Feel the shoulders come up in line with the base of the neck. Bring the arms along the side. Spread your fingers. Hug your forearms in towards the midline. Take your head and your throat back. Yep. Mountain pose. Now squeeze every muscle into bone. You should start to feel like your arms or your legs might be starting to quiver a little bit. That's good. That's the time under tension. Next inhale, take the arms up. Exhale by your side. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale by your side. Keep it going. That's it. Work that full inhale. Let those arms come up. Yep. Keep the shutters closed. Exhale on by your side. Next time they come up, let that right hand grab that left wrist. Take that side bend to the right towards the brick wall. Root down into that left heel, but breathe up that left side body. Take the head and the throat back. Take the arms back. Yep. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, take them up. Swap. Left grabs right. Take that side bend to the left or towards the wall with the window and the door. Root from your right hip into your right heel, but peel from your right hip up the side body, through the ribs, up the arm, fingertips, up and out of the crown of the head. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands by the side. Inhale them up. Pull the belly in. Pull the sit bones down. Maybe curl back that little bit. Feel that peel come up the belly. Up your chest, your neck, your face, up those arms. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to the tops of your thighs, sit back. So we're taking the heel of our hand, we're going right to the crease of our hip, and we're going to push down. And when we push down, we're going to persuade a little bit of space right here in that crease. Pull the belly in, pull the shutters closed. Yep. Keep sitting back. One more breath. Push down, rise up, take the arms up. Bring the right hand behind your back, bring the left hand to your elbow. Push your head back into that forearm, stand up nice and tall. Yep, maybe draw the fingers up a little bit. Take that stretch a little deeper. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. Swap side two. Pull those bellies in and those shutters closed. It's better to lean forward than it is to lean back. So that's okay if you're in this position. This is a better look than this. This is that misalignment. One more breath. Exhale, release. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step the right leg back, lunge. Stay high on the fingertips of your blocks. Get that spine to go back to neutral. If you feel like that back thigh wants to collapse on you, stay high in the ball of the foot. That'll give you a little more power to then hug in. Keep pushing down to that front heel and dragging it back. Pushing down into the ball of that right foot, dragging it forward. Hugging those shins into the midline. Pulling that pelvic floor up. Pulling that belly in and those shutters closed. Yep. One more breath. Then from here, step forward. Keep the knees bent. Reach the left leg back. Lunge side two. That's it. Reach out of the heel. We'll get those glutes to kick on. Keep the chin from falling to the floor. So you slide your throat back to like where the ceiling and the wall meet at the back of the room. Now, once we hug all the energy in, we want to express it. So we want to reach back out of our heel, forward out of our front knee, forward out of the crown of the head, even side to side. Next breath, step forward, swing the arms up, take a big reach. Pull the belly in and those sit bones down. Maybe curl back that little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. There's the back of the legs. Exhale, fold. Deepen it a little bit. So find where your space is going to be. Use your fingertips of your blocks. Find where you have to be. You got those tight hamstrings like we talked about earlier, the blocks are definitely going to be your friend because they're going to lift you up that little bit and let you hold that good space. Because as your back rounds, it starts to take away from that back line, from lengthening that. So you want to keep that going. Yeah, you feel how when you come up in the block, now all of a sudden you get back into the back of the legs a little more. It's not all the way up in your upper back. Yep, yep. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Exhale, lower your knees. All fours, take a breath. When you're ready, cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back, lift the sit bones, reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, round the back. Look to your belly, lengthen your sit bones towards your heels. Your inhale, arch. Your exhale, round. Stay with your breath to 2 or 3 seconds, right? Whatever it is. If it's 2 seconds, that's how long it should take you to arch. 2 seconds, how long it's going to take to round. You always hear me say this is going to be like your tempo, right, of your practice. It's going to match your breath. It's going to match your heart rate. Right? When your heart rate comes up, your breath is going to come up. When you can take the heart rate lower, your breath is going to soften a little bit. One more, and then we'll come to a neutral position, so find that flat back. Take the right hand behind the head. Inhale, take the elbow to the sky. Exhale, bring it across to the eye of that left elbow. Yep, we'll do 5. Inhale, take the elbow to the sky. Exhale, take it across the body. Now keep your belly buttons in and your shutters closed. That way the spine's long. When the elbow goes to the sky, drive the right knee down into the mat so we don't go into the hip. Then after your 5, lower your right hand down, take a breath. Left hand goes behind the head. When you're ready, inhale is going to take the elbow to the sky, and exhale is going to take it across the body. As you draw your hand into the back of your head, push the back of your head into your hand. So we're getting some of that feedback. Then after your 5, we'll meet back in the all fours. Take a breath here. When you're ready, step back to plank. Take your time. Stay with your breath, right? Work what your tempo is going to be. Then when you're ready, push back, downward dog. First downward dog, you can bend the knees. That feels good as you soften it up. Keep the forearms lifting up and the inner biceps lifting up. So it keeps your arms lifting away from the floor. Slide your throat back so that your chin isn't falling to the middle of the mat. It's like you're sliding the back of your head to where the ceiling and the wall meet at the front of the room. Pull the belly in and pull those shutters closed. Now engage the hamstring. So you're going to pull your heels to your butt and your butt to your heels. Now try to reach the right heel down to the floor. Yep. Let the inhale lift it up. Exhale the left heel to the floor. Inhale it up, take that right leg down, and just go back and forth with the breath. But remember the 2 or 3 second thing? Yeah, stay with the breath here. When you balance both sides out, come to neutral. Next inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. And really squeeze those shoulders back, right? Activate those muscles in your upper back. And let the shoulders go down away from the ears. After your 3 breaths, lower the chest, push up through plank, back to downward dog. Keep pushing your hands down and forward. Take your chest back towards your toenails to get the arms up overhead. To get the weight back in the legs. I've been working like down dog holds with y'all. All right? That's the way we're going to do that. Push the weight back into the legs. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take the 3 nice breaths. Now, as the shoulders go back and down, then the back of the heart starts to come forward. We deepen the back bend here. After your 3 breaths, back to chaturanga or lower your chest. Push up through plank. Back to downward dog. In your cobras, the heels are going to try to fall into the midline. You got to keep sweeping those inner heels out so your heels are pointing like straight back or straight up to the sky. When your heels fall in, it narrows the back body where we're trying to bend into, right? So that means we're congesting it a little bit. We'll talk about it next time we hit that. Reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Fire that lunge up. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana, 1 crescent. As you come up, bring it with intention, right? Like you're holding weights. That's going to control as you come up instead of just boing, right? And we're going to lose the shutters. So if we lost it, pull those shoulders back closed. Bring that left hip forward that little bit. Keep feeling the space go up as you lift the spine. 1 more breath. Maybe curl back. Inhale, come up. Take that left hand across the body. Bring it to the outside of the thigh. Let that right hand meet. Push the hands together. You're going to feel that energy run up through the upper trunk. Start to rotate open. Feel free. You want to extend the arms? Go for it. 1 more breath. Inhale, come back to warrior 1. Take the breath. Then exhale the hands down. Nice, y'all. Step back. Downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take the 3 breaths. So see, Trina's heels, like everybody's, they want to fall in, but we don't let that happen. We sweep out so they're pointing straight up to the sky. After your 3 breaths, back to chaturanga or lower your chest, push up through plank, back to downward dog. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. Take your time. When you're ready, inhale, come up. Virabhadrasana 1 crescent. Crescent just keeps that back heel up. It's going to keep the low back safe, right? We don't want this to happen. When this happens, look what happens in my back. I start to get this congestion. So if I sweep the heel out, now I get nice and square across here. Now reach up. Yep. Maybe curl back just that little bit into the pose. Yep. 1 more breath. Let the inhale come up. The right hand's going to go all the way across. See, when I go across, I open the side body up. I get this length. I make space. Now, as I twist into it, I push my hands together, and I use that to rotate even further. I start opening the left side of my chest towards the sky. Yep. Maybe I extend the arms. Maybe I even start to look up and play with the balance that little bit. Awesome. Inhale, come back to that. Warrior 1. Then the hands down to the floor. Step back, downward dog. When you're ready, inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Last time with the 3 breaths. Take those 3 breaths. Yeah, keep those heels sweeping out. After your 3 breaths, back to chaturanga. Nice, y'all. Or lower the chest, push up through plank, and back to downward dog. Awesome. That little adjustment goes a long way, right? We do a lot. I mean, with me, you all do a lot of cobras, for sure. A lot of vinyasas. When we do 10 of those, right, we want to make sure that they're all optimal. That way, what's like one of the main goals of yoga? Leave feeling better than when you came, right? That's the idea. Keep the hands down. Swivel to the outside of the right foot and the inside of the left. Feel it come up that side body. Yep, keep your hands down. Yep, there's that left side body. Inhale, come back to center. Swivel to the outside of the left, inside of the right. Feel that right side body. Yep. Inhale, come back to center. Work through 1 vinyasa. This time, flow through, no hold. Yeah, that's the next challenge, right? Now we flow through a little bit. We take that chance to challenge ourselves as we link the postures. From downward dog, reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel. Inhale, come up, warrior 2. Yeah.
I'm surprised Natalie didn't say something.
You know, it was, I might have had the heat on in the beginning. I might as well just be honest with y'all. Bend into the lead knee. It said turn the thermos, and I thought it meant the unit. I guess I was wrong. That's it. 1 more breath. Take the palm up, slide back into that reverse warrior. Come into that lead knee so it stays on top of the ankle. There it is. Now take a big breath on the right side of the ribs to get the expansion. Now curl back and get that peel through those intercostals. Those are the muscles between your ribs. Yep. Inhale, come back to that warrior 2. Settle it for the breath. Then spin the hands down, spin the back heel up, downward dog. And it might feel a little warm here for a minute or so when the hot air all comes from the ceiling, right? So just give it a second. It will get better. Reach the left leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel, come up warrior 2, side 2. It's refreshing to have a little accountability, right? You just admit it. You say, I put the heat on, right? I just made a mistake. It's okay. That's hard right now for some reason, but it's really kind of easy. You just say you messed up. Reach through the backhand that little bit. There it is. You know there's not a lot of chill in this pose, right? It's full on. The only chill is gaze over your middle finger and then soften your face. That's it. The rest is full. Yep. Now take the palm up. Now curl back. Yeah, warrior pose. Sounds like something that's going to be pretty energized, right? Pretty muscle energy driven. Come into that lead knee. Now widen it out. Yeah. Now take that big breath on the left side of the ribs. You make the space. Then when you curl back, you move into the space. Nice, y'all. Inhale, come back to that warrior two. Take the breath. Then spin the hands down, spin the back heel up, downward dog. Beautiful pace, y'all. Work through one vinyasa, flow through. Yeah, awesome vinyasas. Keep those forearms straight up and down. That's how you know your distance is going to be good. If your forearms fall back, you're getting a little too long. Keep pushing your hands down and forward. Take the chest back to the toenails. Take your right hand to the outside of the left calf or shin. So now you just got the one hand. You got to push the left hand down and forward. Yeah, the twist here in downward dog. Inhale, unwind. Place that hand down, push it down and forward. Then take the left hand to the outside of the right. See, that's how you can hold this pose, by getting the weight into the legs. Inhale, unwind. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up, take a nice big reach. Sit back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Yeah, get your butt to go back before your knees bend. You know where we're going, right? We're going to hit this whole thing. So pull the belly in and pull the shutters closed. Now take that right hand, go across the body. Push the hands together. Pull all that muscle energy. You want to express the arms? Go for it. Reach it up. Inhale, come back to center. Sit back nice and deep. Left hand, go across the body. Bring it to the outside of the thigh. Push the right hand together. Yes, open the chest. Maybe extend the arms. Inhale, come back to center. Lift the arms up. Pull the shutters closed. Sit back deep. Push down, rise up. Nice, y'all. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Find that balance in the feet. Keep that engagement in the legs. Inhale, look forward. Let that spine climb up out of the waist and then go a little bit deeper in the fold. I've been working with y'all with fingertips or lowering your block, right? Maybe fingertips. We were doing hands flat. We were doing back of the hands, right? See where you could take the pose. Inhale, look forward. Walk the hands out in front of you. About a foot or so, use your block. Reach your right leg straight back, come to standing split. Lift from the inner upper edge of the thigh and reach your right heel back so your left heel gets heavy. Then if you want to stay here, stay here. The twist would be the right hand stays down, the left elbow draws back as we maybe reach up towards the sky. Maybe we look up to the sky. Inhale, come back to center. Nice, y'all. Take the breath, then lower that right leg. Take another breath. When you're ready, reach the left leg straight back. No rush here, right? Micro bend in the right knee. Left heel back until the right heel gets super heavy. You should feel that run up into that right hip. The twist would be left hand stays down, right elbow draws back as we twist and maybe look up. That's it. One more breath. Inhale, come back to center. Beautiful poses, crew. Walk the hands back in. Sit back as the knees bend. Swing the arms up. Take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back into that. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Move through your vinyasa 3 times. Beautiful, y'all. That's it. Stay with your breath. When we get back to downward dog, after your 3, let the exhale lower your knees, sit back on your heels, grab a drink, wipe your face, child's pose, whatever feels good. You go back to the breath, full breath in, complete breath out. Anybody have one of those new Manduka mats with the X's? No one? I just seen it downstairs. I want to know how it is. It looks kind of cool. I'm used to old school Manduka. Your hands slide. So you're forced to have to pull this way a lot. But that's kind of part of the challenge, right? This new one is like, you grip right into it. I used one of those B mats a couple weeks ago and I was like, holy shit. This is amazing, right? I don't have to pull this way. I can hold in. All right, here we go. All 4s, hands and knees. I think that goes both ways, right? I like the fact that my hands want to slip because that forces me to have to pull in more, right? But there's a trade-off to everything. When you're ready, take the breath, step back to plank, and then back to downward dog. All right, keep pushing those hands down and forward. Get that weight back. If the knees need to bend, bend them. Don't let your head fall, your chin fall to the midline, because if it does and your neck goes, then your upper back's going to go. What are we trying to feel between our upper, like in our upper back? That it's like softening, right? Not that it's rounding. We're trying to work towards that nice neutral extension, like we were in Tadasana, in mountain pose. Nice, y'all. It's 30 seconds there. Reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel, come up, extended side angle. So bent arm to bent knee, set yourself up. If you want to stop and plug the arm in, pause. If you want to sweep that bicep right up along the cheek, go for it whenever you're ready. When you look up, you should be looking up right into your bicep, like right into your arm. Yep. We try to make a line coming up our leg, micro bend, coming up the leg, up the side body, up the arm, and out the fingertips. If you want to go right hand down to the block or the floor, go for it. Inside the foot, outside the foot is not a right or wrong, it's just where you want to play. Now pull the belly in and pull the shutters closed. Now here's where the rotation happens. So you're going to take the top of the ribs back and the bottom of the ribs forward. Then you want to play with the balance, maybe even start to look up. Yes. Push into that front foot. Inhale, come up, warrior 2. Push the front leg straight. Yeah, get nice and tall. Hinge at the right side of the hip. Come into triangle, Trikonasana. See, we need to make space. We're going to collapse into that right hip, and there's going to be nowhere for us to move. That's what that big lift is. Yes. Pull the belly in and the shutters closed. Then start to rotate open. One more breath. Exhale the left hand to your hip. Bend your front knee. Half step in or kick up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Have your arm out in front of you, the distance from your hip to your armpit. So side body length. Kick your left toes forward so you can see them if you scan down your leg. Lengthen your right sit bone down to your right heel and start opening up. So like your junk and your chest are facing the wall with the window and the door. Yes, maybe look up. One more breath. Lower the left hip, come to standing split. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold over that right leg. Yep. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold over that leg. Big hamstring opener. One more time. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Next breath, lower the left leg down. Walk the hands back in. Bend the knees. Place the hands. Step or jump back. Downward dog. Work through one vinyasa. So now we're starting to link things, right? It's getting challenging. It's supposed to be. Right? We're in one of those challenging moments of practice. It's supposed to be hard. What do I always tell you about those moments? Let them be hard, right? It's supposed to be. Honor that and just move through the best that you can. From downward dog, reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. Spin that back heel, come up Parsva side 2, extended side angle side 2. So here's where our heart rate comes up, right, as we hold the poses and link the postures. So the breath is going to come up a little bit. Keep that right thigh rooting back like you're sticking your butt back on the right side. Same thing here. We're lengthening the left sit bone down towards that left heel. Pull the belly in. Go a little longer. Go a little longer. Yeah, now you can soften that thigh down. Yeah, but see, it's coming in front of your knees. You got to go a little longer. Yeah. Maybe the hand down to the block of the floor. Settle into this pose. Yeah. Here we go. Push into that front heel. Inhale, come up tall into that warrior 2. When you're ready, straighten the front leg. Get nice and tall, so breathe up out of the waist. There it is. Hinge at the left side of your hip. Keep ripping those feet together to keep those hips from popping. So you're ripping your front heel back and your back arch forward. Keep your left ear from falling to the floor. So keep your right ear lifting up to the sky. Pull the belly in and the shutters closed. Go for that little rotation. Maybe look up and play with the balance here. Then exhale the right hand to your hip. Bend your left knee. If you need a little more balance, drag that foot along the mat as you come up. It'll pull the energy into the hips. Then we're going to kick that right leg forward a little bit so we can see the toes. That way the top of the thigh is rooted back. Then as we lengthen that sit bone towards the heel, you're going to start opening and peeling. Stay with the belly in the shutters. Maybe look up. One more breath. Lower the right hip. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold over that left leg. Next inhale, look forward. Your breath. Exhale is going to fold over the leg. One more time. When you're ready, lower the right leg, walk the hands back in, bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog, move through one vinyasa. Nice, y'all. Beautiful. Beautiful poses. When you get back to downward dog, exhale, lower your knees. We're going to come to hero's pose. Okay, so tack your toenails flat. The space between our knees will be different for everybody, but we'll all have the outsides of our shins parallel with the sides of the mat. If this is too deep to go into the flexion behind the knee, you take the blanket behind the knees. And that's going to give you a little bit of space as you sit back into it. Now keep hugging your knees in. Yeah, they're going to try to do this and splay out. You want to adduct. That means we want to hug in. Sit up nice and tall. Take your right hand to the outside of the left thigh and your left hand behind you and take the twist here. But don't let your knees splay apart. Keep hugging them in. Stay nice and tall by breathing into the upper trunk and then pulling the belly and the shutters closed. And we get that nice rotation to the spine. That's what a twist is, right? Rotating your spine. Inhale, come back to center. Take a breath. When you're ready, swap the hands. So the left goes to the outside of the thigh as the right hand reaches behind. We push our right hand like down so it sits us up nice and tall. There's the space that we want to make so we can twist into the space. Next inhale, come back to center. Take the breath. Next inhale, come up, all fours, hands and knees. Just reach the right leg back, open up the knee and the hip. When you're ready, lower it down, take the left leg back. Exhale, lower it down. Turn the hands out while we're here. Yep, we'll get that little forearm stretch. Resting a little bit too, right? Feeling the floor underneath. A little more grounding. pull the bellies in. Look how nice and solid this is. Like, too much would be tucked under. Yeah. Not enough. Be careful on that one. Yeah, right? We want to be right in that neutral position. That's the strength right here. Inhale, unwind, sit back on your heels, give your wrist a little spin. And then when you're ready, inhale, come up, exhale, hands down, all fours. And when you're ready, step back to plank, and then downward dog. Roll to the outside of the right foot, stack the left foot on top or in front. Come into side plank. Turn those biceps forward to root into the upper back. Push out of the big toe mounds. You want to hug the right knee to your chest, your left knee to your chest. Grab your ankle or your foot. Curl back, Kappajalasana. Release the leg if it's there. Inhale, come back to center. Push back, downward dog. Roll to the outside of the left foot. Stack the right foot on top of it. Remember, stay with your breath. I'm always going to be ahead of you a little bit. Integrate. Get the friends in the game, right? We're going to have the power by getting everybody collected and together, right? That's integrating. Then if you're going to go for that little tweak in Kappajalasana, playing a little further, the knee hugs to the chest, curl back into it like you're working that quad stretch. Yeah, lean into that left arm. Release the leg if it's there. Inhale, come back to plank. Push back, downward dog.
Fell out of my good arm.
Keep pushing that weight back. So you're pushing the hands forward to get the weight to go back. Nice, y'all. Keep breathing. Don't let your chin fall. Yep. Now, here we go. Come forward to plank, 30 seconds. Yes, these look awesome. Keep your hips from falling to the floor. Yeah. Keep your upper back broad by pushing down. Don't collapse between your shoulder blades. Don't over-round, but don't collapse. Keep reaching your heels back behind you. Keep reaching the crown of your head forward. Got about 5 seconds. And then when you're ready, slowly lower to your bellies. Take your hands underneath your head, turn your head to one side, just take a little break. Nice work. You do butt wiggles, reverse windshield wipers if that feels good. Inhale your head back to center, swap the hands, turn your head to the other side. Couple more breaths, butt wiggles or reverse windshield wipers if that feels good, laying there flat, whatever feels good to you. And then come to neutral. Place your hands middle of the chest, so nipple line, and take the shoulders back. And then curl your toes, start to charge up your legs, the upper trunk, right? Belly, shudders. When you're ready, push up the chaturanga, take a full round of breath, knees count. Then push up the plank, take another full round of breath. Then push back to downward dog, take a few breaths. Nice, y'all. Walk your feet together, then walk your hands back, come to a squat. I think we worked this last week, so we'll play with it again today, right? So y'all could give it another try. Something that always drives me crazy is like you see a pose, right? And then you don't see it again for like 2 months. So I try to like bring a couple things in for y'all to play with. So this was one of them. So we're gonna do twisted crow. So remember, They're called arm balances, not arm strength poses, right? So that means you got to get the weight to balance out, which is then going to settle into this little cradle, and it's going to, I don't want to use the word easy, but it's going to be accessible, all right? As compared to, it's just like a whole bunch that I can't get, right? It's there for you. You just have to find where the balance is. So here we go. We're going to inhale the arms up, then we're going to twist towards the brick wall. And we're going to bring our hands down just like they'd be in downward dog. Just like you placed them in downward dog is how your hands are right now. And to start out with, the outside of your knee is right up against your arm. But now we got a little trick. If we take the knees out to the left, we can bend that left elbow so our knees go up higher than the elbow. That's where we want it to be. Now we're going to come high on our on our tippy toes. We're going to bend both elbows. I always see this, locking the right one out. Bend that right one, wedge the outside of the thigh to the outside of the leg, and there's your twisted crow. Yeah. Nice, y'all. Yep. You know, I have seen this done. Y'all know I'm not really a big fan of standing on the blocks because to me, if you're already nervous down low, going up higher does not make it any more comfortable, right? But I have seen that before working off the block. I tend to just like coming up here, lift up high, right? Get your butt up that little bit. Then you can bend back onto the outsides of the arm. Does that make sense?
Is a block going to help if you have shorter arms?
It's just going to lift you up higher, which means you have to decelerate that weight. I'll show you. I feel comfortable doing it. So see, I'd be here, right? Look how high I am already. Now I'm going to come this way. So what it's going to do is it's going to make me round my back a little more. So I'm going to get my knees a little bit higher, right? But see, I could work from here. But see, I got to own this shit because I got to decelerate this because this wants to happen, right? I got to be able to control that as I go down. So this isn't it's not like a wrong. It's just I try to get y'all to do it from a different way. It's not a right or wrong, right? I just try to offer it from on your feet than with the block. But remember, these are tools for you to use, right? This is supposed to bring out a better pose. This is a progression, right? Not a regression to your practice. So if this works for you, go for it. If not, you got a couple options. Let's try side two. The what? What do you mean, going from Twisted Crow to Ekapada Kunyanyasana 1 or Dvipada? Yeah. So I'll just show y'all real quick. So we're going to go, I'd go here, right? I twist, I get myself up. I'm just going to move fast. Now when I come up here, this is the pose. But you can take the bottom leg forward and you can take the top leg back, right? So you work your Ekapada Kunyanyasana 1. Then you can bring your legs out to the side. That's Dvipada. And I tend to go this way, and I like to work my way right back out. So you can link those up, bend the knees, and come right back out of that side crow. So if you want to try that, I'll talk you through on side two, and then just go back and do side one if you feel like you want to extend onto that side one again, all right? So let's start from that squat. Listen, if you want to try the block and you feel comfortable, go for it, right? 100%. Then when you're ready, inhale the arms up. What do I always tell y'all? If you can control it, manipulate it, right? If you can't control it, then stay as grounded as possible. Then the hands down to the floor. Then you're going to spin your knees towards the brick wall so you can bend the elbow. Then you're going to come high up on the tippy toes. As you bend both elbows, wedge the outside of the thigh to the back of the arm. Then the bottom leg goes forward. The top leg goes up and back. Then the leg comes out to the side. Then bend the knees and work your way back out. Yeah. How'd it go? It's a lot, right? Of course it is. It's supposed to be, right? Nice. Yeah. And the whole time, you want to keep breathing. And you want to have your face as calm as can be. Because what does this show? I'm not in a good place. I'm struggling, right? Shut it down is what that's showing. I want to be like, it's just what I do, right? I don't want to get too excited either. Just like I want to have enough excitement. It's just trying to find that sweet spot, right? In that neutral place. All right, let's stay here. Bend your right leg, bring it to the outside of your hip. Bring the left foot into the crease of the elbow. This is another one we do when we do twists. Asta Vakrasana. We'll start here in baby cradle. I can't do that. We'll start here in baby cradle, and then we will go into Asta Vakrasana. Yep, so we want to sit here. You're going to push your foot into the crease of your elbow, and you're going to push the big toe mound into your arm so you can pull the pinky toe side of the foot back. Yeah, sorry, y'all. I can't do that to my knee. It feels like it's going to rip off today. Baby cradle, as the name implies, right? You go side to side. Now, if you want to stay here, we're in the back of the hip. We're opening up some good muscles back here. Stay here. If you want to work the arm balance, you're going to lift that left leg up. You're going to take your arm underneath your leg. You're going to take your leg high up on your arm. Is that okay for you? Okay. You're going to squeeze your arm between your leg. Then you're going to place your hands down just like downward dog. Same hand position. Cross your right ankle over your left. Take your feet to the outside of your hand. Yep. Bend both elbows. I always see that right one lock out. Bend that right elbow. And now squeeze your thighs together. Yeah, Andre, bend your right elbow. Bend your right elbow. Yes, now squeeze your legs to the wall. Keep bringing your chest forward. Yes. Yeah. And that's how it goes, right? It goes from like, look at this pretzel pose, to, oh yeah, there's some shit I do now, right? It's like that. Let's swap side two. Maurice, you gonna unwind that? Let's swap side two. Push out of that big toe mound. Pull that pinky toe side of the foot back. Yep. And then see, I'm here. If this is too much, I take my right hand underneath my calf and my left hand to my ankle. And then I could sit up nice and tall, right? I could find this nice sweet spot where I got to get to. Yep. And then stay here. You know your practice isn't any better or any worse, right? If you move into the next pose. It's where you need to be in the moment. Your practice is beautiful right this way, right? That's the game. Now, if you're going to go to the Asta Vakrasana, you're going to lift the right leg up. And you take the arm underneath. And see, if I don't squeeze, it's just going to do this. So I got to squeeze my arm between my leg. Yep. Place your hands down. Cross your left ankle over your right. Then take your feet to the outside of your hand. Add some core there. Then bend both. Keep sliding that shoulder back. Yeah, that's actually holding the shoulder good. Yeah, now squeeze your legs out to the brick wall. You're trying to make like a girder out of your legs. That's the idea. Squeeze your legs, Jen. Straighten them all the way out. Yeah. And then when you're ready, unwind. All right. Grab your mats, find a spot on the wall. We'll go upside down. Feel free to use all the walls, every space that you want to. If you're at home and you don't have the wall to kick up on, you can always lay on your back and bend your knees and then reach your heel up to the sky as you interlace your hands behind your thigh and take a bunch of breaths. And then you can swap into side two. If you are at home or in the studio, it's not your day to invert. You're always welcome to go legs up the wall, right? Do a pose that feels good to you. I'm going to talk everyone through downward dog and L pose, but you're more than welcome to do your handstands, your headstands, your tripods. You could do, we did hamstrings today, right? So you could do wide-legged forward fold to tripod, okay? Then you take the legs out to the side, and you rotate and twist from your tripod, okay? Some of you are going to you've been working on coming down into that twisted crow. You'll see some of them go from tripod towards that twisted crow. That might be your flavor. Go for that, okay? Trina's already walking around, so you can ask her if you have any questions on your inversions. Once I get everybody up, I'll walk around as well. Feel free to grab me too, all right? So remember, if it's not your day to invert, legs up the wall or anything that feels good to you. So if you're going to stick with me, let's go all fours, hands and knees, feet are touching the wall. So we're in that low mountain like we were earlier. Then when we're ready, we're going to lift the knees and the hips, come to a short downward dog. Then we'll step one foot up the wall and then the second foot up the wall. And then if your knees are bent, you're in downward dog inverted. If your legs are straight, you're in L pose. You could see there's the twist with the legs, right? Wide, and then we twist into it. Keep your legs wide, Yov. Take your legs back out wide. And play around. Whenever it feels good to you to come down, come down. If you want to rest, rest. If you want to try it again, yeah, that was right there. Jai, that was right there. That was really close. You know what? You have to round your upper back in that pose. So if you look at a pose like crow and you looked at like light on yoga or something like that, right? You would see that it's there. We try to get you to activate this because we know this is our misalignment of life, right? Back when that book was written, that wasn't the misalignment of life, right? But now it's trying to get out of that. But you got to go into that a little more. That'll make up the space through the hip flexor to get your knee high on your elbow. Elizabeth, I think we talked about that last time too. You got to kind of go into the spine there. Remember, that's not a Yoga 101 cue that you're hearing me give them, right? This is definitely down the line a little bit where their practice is.
Goes right near the floor. And if I'm in tripod, I come over to the top of my head is on the floor. And I can't. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like, if I go into twisting front, right? Mm-hmm. Which is not easy for me generally. Watch my face, right? My face goes right down. Mm-hmm. And then I try to twist. I can't get my face doesn't move. And I think that's where I'm struggling.
So
One of many reasons.
when I do that pose, it's not slow like you're doing.
That just scares me. Okay.
It's moving through. So that when it comes up, you're getting the space to finish the twist.
I am lifting.
Because you got to come back out of that. It's like you're doing this, right? You're coming back out this way. It's just Twisted Crow's version, where you're coming back out, so you're going to have to look forward into it again. But normally it comes down with a little more, like the breath, it's like, and down. I mean, what you're doing is beautiful, it's so hard, right? But I think that little momentum is going to kind of bring you to where you need to be. And, play when what feels good to you. We're already, might not be this moment, but. All right. When you're finished with your inversions, let's meet on our backs. Okay, let's meet on our backs. Take your time now. Okay, we'll do a couple of back bends. I'll talk you into downward dog. In bridge, couldn't get that out. I'll talk you into bridge first and then wheel, but feel free to hit 2 wheels or 2 bridges, or as always, supported bridge if you want to put the block underneath the sacrum, whatever feels good to you. All right, here we go. On our backs, knees are bent, feet are on the floor. Feet are hips width apart or just a little wider. We don't want to be any narrower because we lose the power. The width would give you a little more stability. Start to charge the legs up. Start with that sacrum flat, pull the energy up through the upper trunk. With the head and the shoulders back, slowly lift the hips, come to bridge. Take your shoulders under a little bit, like you're wiggling them under your back. Yep. Gently push your head down into the mat. Now let the knees reach forward. Let the upper palate of your mouth reach back so you feel your throat open up. Yep. Now as you gently push your feet down and forward, you'll feel that it's taking the back bend underneath your shoulder blades, right where we want the back bend to be. One more breath. Then stay engaged as you lower down. Take the feet wide, let the knees touch. One hand on your heart, one hand on your low belly. Inhale the arms to your side. Open the knees, reset. This time, first I'll get you into bridge, and then we'll go into wheel, those of you who want to play with wheel. Remember, it's where you want to play. Here we go. Charge the legs up, upper trunk. When you're ready, slowly lift the hips, come to bridge. If you're going to go into wheel, place your hands wide, edges of your mat. Your fingertips should just about touch the edge of your mat, maybe even be off the mat a little bit. And then hug the elbows in and take the shoulders back. Then push down to come up from that place. So we get that good integration, then we can push. Now, if you need more space, lift your heels up. And when you lift your heels, you're going to lengthen that curve, so it's going to get more accessible. Maybe pump your heart towards the wall that you're looking at. Stay engaged. When you're ready, lower down. Take the feet wide, let the knees touch. If your right hand was on your heart, left hand on your heart, opposite hand on your low belly. Go back to the breath. And then inhale, open the knees, windshield wiper side to side. Next time they fall to the right, let them settle there. Pull your left heel to your left sit bone. There's that quad stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Let the knees fall to the left. Nice open twist here. Right heel to right sit bone. We get the quads, but we really get this lateral quad, the outside one, a little more in this. That's one of those muscles that love to drive us into external rotation, that outside quad. And then inhale, come back to center, hug the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug or make a couple small circles. Here's another one we broke down last week. Let's see if we'll play with it. Keep your right knee in, take your left leg straight out. Bring the back of the thigh to the floor. Now take your right heel to the sky, interlace the hands behind your thigh. Notice if your left thigh came off the floor. If it did, you're going to want to lower your right heel to the floor till you feel that you can control that left thigh rooted down. Then go back to the split from there. bend the knee, lower the leg, hug the left knee in, take the right leg out, whatever your side 2 is. Try to root the back of the thigh to the mat. Then as you reach that left heel to the sky, interlace the hands behind the thigh, and you're taking your hands and you're like drawing them down your leg. Think you're trying to like root the head of your femur, the thigh bone, into the hip socket. So we're just kind of persuading a little bit there. Keep the toes going straight over your face. And bend the knee, lower down, hug both knees into your chest. Let your knees, keep your left shoulder down, let your knees fall towards the right, take the twist. You could put the block between your knees. That'll help stack the hips up on top of one another. You could put the block on the outside of the knees. That will help bring the floor a little closer. If you need a little more space, just scooch to like the left side of your mat, and that'll let you stay on your mat a little easier. And then inhale, come back to center. Paused in the middle. Then let the knees fall towards the left, or whatever your side 2 is. Belly's in, shutters are closed. So we don't just manipulate those ribs, but we get that nice twist. Inhale, come back to center. Take the legs out straight. Reach those arms up overhead. Take that big stretch. Take that big reach. When you're ready, hug your knees to your chest. Take your knees wide. Come to happy baby. So knees are wider than our shoulders. Trying to keep sacrum flat to the mat. So if you feel like you're rolling up to your lumbar spine, just let go of your feet and hold the outsides of your knees. If you want to get to the back of the legs one more time, the hamstrings, maybe you reach the right leg out and then the left leg out. Some of you are going to want to rock side to side, whatever feels good. And then from here, inhale your knees to center. Exhale your legs out straight. We'll take Shavasana. Beautiful practice, crew. Feel free to add or remove layers or props. I'm going to talk everyone through laying flat, but you're more than welcome to do a variation that feels good to you. And here as we lay back, we let the legs stretch out. The feet gently roll open. We let the arms come along the sides. The shoulders settle back. Maybe that open palm turns to the sky. Let your head rest back. Maybe let your eyes close. Let the tongue soften from the roof of the mouth as we let the body get heavy. Let your mind soften as it turns back to the breath. Let your heart open. We're going to get ready now to move the yoga into the practice of life. Where there will be many challenges, things we're unsure of, but we follow the same guideline, the same outline. We take a breath, we set a foundation, and we engage, and we express. With each breath is a new opportunity for something different, for some change. So even when things don't go our way, we just take another breath and we reset that foundation and we re-engage and we try again. Because the success is just trying. We don't give up. We find our way through. And we move forward piece by piece until we connect to something great. And begin here to draw in a deeper breath. You feel the breath washing over the body. It's from your fingers to your toes, to the crown of your head, to your heart. We reawaken that better version of ourselves. As the fingers and the toes wiggle, maybe the arms and the legs stretch or reach, move in a way that feels good to you. Taking your time, moving slowly, consciously. When you're ready, you can hug your knees to your chest and just roll to the right side. Take a breath or two here. When you're ready, you can push your hands down to come up to a seated position. We'll meet together with our eyes closed, with our hands in front of our hearts. And one more time to seal in our practice, our time together with our Kula, our yoga family. Together, the sound of Om. All together, deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our heart, our head to each other's hearts. For all of that hard work and that determination, that challenge, the love and the support you always give each other, it's to you that I bow. Namaste. Thanks, crew. Good to see everyone. You know, if you have any questions or anything, thank you, Trina. Feels weird, grab us before you go. If not, maybe I'll see y'all next week or something, or I'll see you soon. Thanks, y'all. How you feeling?